Good.
Good morning, twice.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We get to say good morning multiple times.
Oh my goodness, it's a good thing we don't freak out about technical glitches.
It's just a way of life.
No, I think we always have technical glitches, so
Yeah, there's always going to be something. I mean, when technology is involved, there's always a little bit of weirdness, but it's okay. We just roll with it. So,
yeah.
oh my goodness. Well, good morning and welcome to the Wellness Wake Up Weekly. And today is episode 23. We've been doing this for 23 weeks now. How incredible, Christine.
That is pretty incredible.
That
Wow.
is, and that's actually almost half of a year, right? Because 52 weeks in a year.
I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, it's been that long. Time
Yeah.
flies when you're having fun. Introduce yourself. I have to grab something off the printer.
Okay, cool. Well, I am Carrie Marie Vaughn, and I am an Unstickify Your Life coach here in upstate New York, where it is very snowy. Yet again, we've had a very snowy winter this year, which is actually nice. I'd rather it be snowy than icy and just cold for no reason. The snow is at least pretty to look at, and it's fun to watch the birds flit around in it and everything like that. So anyway, my husband and I, we have 3 adult children and we have 3 cats, and we also have 4 grandkitties and a grandpuppy. So, and 3 of the grandkitties and 1 of the grandpuppies is living with us right now. So we have a house full. and 2 extra humans. But I specialize in helping people to get unstuck and to get from feeling stressed and overwhelmed to feeling inflow, and confidence. So anyway, today I'm going to have Christine introduce herself, and then we're going to talk about what we're talking about today because it's exciting. We've talked about this topic before, but it's always good to talk about it multiple times.
It is always good to talk about it. So I am Christine Lunceford. I am in North Central Arkansas, married to my sweetheart. We have 4 Jack Russells and 8 chickens. 8. I think there's 8. I know that's terrible. 7 hens and 1 rooster. Yes, there's 8. Anyway, I am an Empower You coach, and I empower women to be their own wellness advocate. And I'm super excited to say that today I'm meeting with the college because I may be offering my course through the college for community. So I'm super excited. And my focus is teaching women how to track symptoms and reactions so that you can find the root cause, because been there, done that. So yeah, today, detox.
Yes. So we are talking about detoxing today, and it is so important to talk about because, first of all, we're heading into spring. Even if you are in my area where it's very cold and snowy, spring is on the way. I promise it will be here very soon. But when we think about springtime, we think about spring cleaning, and we're talking about spring cleaning for your body. Yet we're doing it in a gentle way, not a harsh detox. So we're talking about different things to do with how to detox in a gentle way.
Yes. And it's going to be 71 and storming here today. So we are thinking spring.
Wow.
And
I sounds like spring weather.
Oh yeah, it could get, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but storms this afternoon. So I don't know. I have done, and Carrie Marie and I have talked about this, a doctor supervised deep detox. So we are not doctors. We are simply sharing with you what we have done. And I want to bring awareness to that if you need to do a deep detox, if you need to do a heavy metal detox, go see your doctor.
Yeah.
Go see a naturopath. Go see somebody who is a practitioner, because
and who specializes in that. Like, don't just go to any old doctor. Go to somebody who specializes in helping you to detox from certain things if it comes to that. And you probably don't know if you need that until you get some testing done. And oh my goodness, if you need more information on that, read Christine's book, because Christine's book it goes into so much detail on that. And so, Christine, share really quick before we dive in, just share a little bit about your book, the name, how they can get it, all that good stuff.
I wrote a book, Wrong Answer, and it was because I kept getting the wrong answer from the doctors. So when you read the book, it'll talk you through everything that I had done and been through, high level. Like I didn't go horribly deep, but it will give you some information on how to find out if you do need a heavy metal
Yeah.
detox or if you need any of that stuff. And trust
And
me,
it
it's
talks about your story, which is really eye-opening, but also
yes,
you provide resources that people can use if they're feeling like they're not getting the right answers. And so I think it's highly important. And you can get it on Amazon, by the way.
yes. And
Search
it's cheap.
for
It's cheap.
wrong answer Christine Lunceford. Don't just search wrong answer because there's like a zillion things that come up. So make sure to put in Christine's name too.
And they give you the wrong answer, literally. So, anyway, detox.
Okay, so let's dive back into the topic. First of all, your body already naturally knows how to detox, but sometimes it just needs a little extra support because sometimes it's so toxic that it's having a hard time keeping up on its own, and so you just need to support it in a little bit of a way, or sometimes harshly, but we're not going to get into that today. Today we're talking about the gentle detox and just giving the body that little bit of extra support that it needs.
Yes. So drop a yes if you have ever done any kind of detox. And honestly, that also includes fasting or intermittent fasting because that is a form of detox. Not
Yeah,
my favorite.
yeah, very true.
Full disclosure. I usually feel sick if I do that, so I don't do it.
Yeah,
And we're not talking
yeah,
about starvation. If you do intermittent fasting or fasting, we're not talking about starving yourself for days on end. That's
right. Right. So something that I had mentioned is how our body naturally detoxes. And so it does it in multiple different ways. Our liver is filtering things
mm,
daily. That's so cool. Our body just is so incredible. We're such miraculous beings. I
I know.
think it's so
Didn't God do
cool.
a great
So our
job?
liver is filtering things.
Didn't
What?
God do a great job? I
Oh my
know
goodness.
sometimes
Yeah.
I'm
It's
just
so
like in awe. I'm like, oh, you know, you really are higher and know a whole lot more than me.
Yeah, when you really stop and think about, like, how much our bodies do on their own
Mhm.
and, like, it's just so incredible. We're so complex and so amazing. So, our liver is filtering things daily. Um, our lymph system moves waste out of our body. And so, we're gonna talk a little bit more about how to support these things, shortly. Our gut eliminates waste. That's an obvious thing. I mean, we kind of know how that works, our digestive system a little bit. Our kidneys are regulating fluids. So those are just parts of our body that are just naturally detoxing on a regular basis. But we can do something by detoxing. We can support the body in its natural function.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely. And the thought just went phew. Anyway, and detoxing isn't something that like you can't detox your body. You can support your body to do the detox itself.
right, right, right. I'm glad that you mentioned that because a lot of people think that they are detoxing, which yes, you can support your body in the detox process for sure, but you're not the one detoxing, your body's doing the
Yes.
detoxing.
So
So,
supporting the system to
mhm.
reduce the bloating and the puffiness and the fatigue and the brain fog and skin breakouts, all of those things are your body's natural way of detoxing it. And those can be signs that you have overflowed the bucket, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, if you're having any of those types of symptoms, it might mean that your body just needs that little bit of extra support because it's having a hard time keeping up on its own, and that's probably due to our I mean,
Inundated
it's gross, but there are toxins everywhere in our
everywhere,
world.
everywhere.
And even if we try our hardest to reduce as many toxins as possible, we are still exposed to them. And so
And this,
sometimes our body just gets into overload mode and is like, holy moly, I'm having a really hard time keeping up with detoxing all these toxins because you're exposed to so many. And so that's when you do experience those things. So I would love to know from those of you who are watching, which of those do you seem like you experience the most or most frequently? The bloating, the puffiness, fatigue, brain fog, skin breakouts, or maybe it's all of those things or more than one. Let us know in the comments because, first of all, I want you to know that you're not alone, that you're not the only one that's dealing with this because there are so many people that have these things on a very regular
yeah.
basis. So,
And what just came to mind is if you are having like the same symptom all the time, I learned this when I did my DNA tests. So I did DNA tests. So for me, if my body is out of whack, I generally have neurological inflammation, which, by the way, you can't see. But
Right.
those same things, you may have the exact same symptom repeat itself, but what you do is you learn to spot it and go, hey, I'm headed down a path that's going to lead me to this. I get to support my body so I don't go down there again. So don't be
Mhm.
surprised if the same thing comes back because that may be where your body is.
Reacting to
Yes,
something.
I don't wanna say broken because none of you are broken. I
No.
want you to hear none of you are broken. It may just
Mhm.
simply be that that is how your body reacts, and everybody reacts differently.
Oh yeah, everybody reacts differently to different things. And so like that's why you see those people that plow down every junk food possible and they somehow stay thin and they don't experience bloating or upset stomach or anything and you're like what is
Okay, so
happening? Like if I even have a taste of that, I'm going to feel sick or I'm going to
oh,
gain weight
absolutely.
or get
Okay,
puffy or
I've got a
whatever.
okay, I don't know why he popped into my head, but for all of you that are, like, our age or older, George Burns. Do you remember George Burns? Okay, he smoked his entire stinking life. And
Oh,
lived, I think, into his 90s. Okay,
oh
not
my.
telling you to go smoke. But there's a
Yeah.
perfect example of somebody that is doing something that is highly toxic, and apparently either he, I don't know, didn't inhale? I don't know what his reasoning is, but his body didn't react like, the rest of us would.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
a great example for women, look at women and where they gain weight.
Yeah.
So that's an example of how everybody's body is different. Okay,
Oh
so
yeah, for sure.
something that I started doing like 4 days ago, because we talk about it all the time, is intentionally drinking our balance, our greens, because I know it's good for me, and neither one of us really loves the taste. I have discovered that if I
I don't mind the taste. It's the texture
okay,
that
so
bothers me.
this is what I've been doing. I put like this much in a glass, I pour the greens in, and I pour either hydrate or rush in, whichever flavor. I mix
Mhm.
it with my little frother thing and then
Oh,
drink
yeah.
it
Mhm.
immediately. That's why I only
Yes.
put like 8 ounces in there. So most people probably couldn't do that, but I want it in me. I don't necessarily want to, sip and enjoy it like a glass of wine. I don't want to chug a glass of wine, but I'm going to chug my daily greens.
Right. I think that's why people take shots.
Yeah. And there's no way. That's a whole nother rabbit hole we could go down with the
Yeah. Oh my
or
goodness.
the
Okay.
IVs
So,
that people do. I'm like, "Ugh, no." Um,
yes. All right. So, yes, that is definitely I mean, I don't care for the balance very much. I know how beneficial it is and I should probably do it more often, but it's okay because I do other things. Like for instance, gold. I have my gold in my coffee every
mhm.
morning and it helps for things like inflammation. It helps my liver to process and that is actually one of the things we're talking about, supporting the liver so that it can do its job, so that it can get rid of the waste.
Yes. I am
So, and
actually thinking
I also put fit fuel in here too. And fit fuel helps the digestive system. Another thing that helps our body to reduce waste.
absolutely, and I am actually thinking about starting to try to take our gold at night, because your body
Mm.
naturally, like, detoxes and rests and all that, and I'm like, maybe I get to do that. So I'm gonna try that. I haven't done it
Yeah, that's a great idea. I have done that in the past. Anytime I ever have the drift, which helps me to fall asleep, if I'm struggling with falling asleep, I will have the drift and I'll put a scoop of the gold in it. So anytime I have drift, I do have gold. So I do have it in the evening occasionally. But the other thing is like I might not drink it, although gold also comes in capsule form. So if that's easier to take at night, then that's
yet.
something that we could do like a half hour before bed. Kind of like calm is really good taking a half hour before bed.
Yes. Okay,
It helps you just okay, we could
okay.
go down a
I
whole
this is what I
different
printed
type
this
of
morning, our new products.
ooh,
Mine are coming. I
ooh.
got the email this morning that said they've shipped.
Oh my goodness, that's so
So,
exciting.
probiotics and what is the other one? I know
Digestive enzymes.
There you go. I was like, I know that it says that says probiotics. This is
Yeah. I
digestive.
mean, the Fit Fuel automatically has digestive enzymes and probiotic, but that is like a
And look
more
at all the stuff that's in
concentrated.
there.
Wow.
I'm so excited
Wow.
because I
That's
had
so
brand some
exciting.
probiotics many years ago, and then they discontinued them, and it aggravated me because I have not found one since that
Mm.
I feel like it works. So I'm super
All right,
excited.
so let's dive back into the topic of talking about some ways that we can help to support our body to naturally detox, in addition to some of those products that we were just talking about, because that's helping hydrating for, taking or drinking to hydrate for mineral replenishment. All of those things that we just talked about, those are super important because supplementation helps our body to continue to move the waste out, which is good. But what are some of the other things that we can
Okay,
do?
so for us, we do this on a regular basis, is people need to drink water. And
Yes.
another thing is you need to make sure that you're getting the electrolytes and the minerals in your water. So,
Yeah. I mean, we just talked about the Hydrate the Rush as well.
yes.
Those are great for vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, all of that good
And
stuff that our
my
body needs.
naturopath told me when I was going through all of my stuff to add a pinch
Mhm.
of Himalayan pink salt to my water and
Yeah.
just let it mix up. Another salt that I love, if you know you have low potassium. So, and you don't have to, it doesn't anyway. It's called blue salt.
I don't think I've ever
And
had
it's
that before.
naturally blue, so it is naturally has potassium in it. It's not something that's added into it. It is natural salt, but it's where it's
That's so
mined. I think that's the right word.
yeah. Yeah, they mind
So
salt.
if anybody is interested, I can send you the link because I order it on Amazon. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
lemon.
Yeah, adding lemon to the water is a great addition, or to tea. Like you can add a pinch of or a squeeze of lemon to your tea, to your water.
I don't think we even mentioned
Greens is
that, but cucumbers. If you do
mm,
lemon and cucumber water is very good for your system. Provided you don't
yeah.
have a reaction to cucumber. That's a whole nother topic. But anyway.
And and by the way, all right, we're going to be talking about poop here. You should be having bowel movements daily. If you're not, then your body needs that little bit of support to move things along, because you should be having at least one or two bowel movements every single day. And so to improve that, you can have fiber, all of the digestive things we just talked about, the digestive enzymes, the fit fuel, all of that, that helps to move things
Mhm.
along, and movement. Movement, move your
Yes.
body. Your body doesn't want to stay still. If you're sitting all day long, it's not allowing everything to just flow through. Walking after every meal is super helpful.
Yes, and you okay, so here's a reason you don't want it to sit in your system, is it actually can start to cause problems with your colon, and I speak to that from experience because in our family, that is a very big thing, is colon cancer, so you don't want it. When I went in, I had to have a scan done, and I have a weird kink in my colon, and he said, "Make sure you always have movement because if it sits there, it's going to start to I'm sorry, probably TMI, it's gonna start to rot and cause problems." So,
Yeah, so good.
anyway,
I have heard that. I mean, I've had ulcerative colitis in the past,
correct.
and they say it's something that you have for the rest of your life and that you have to take medicine for the rest of your life. But I say, no way, no,
Wrong
thank you.
answer.
Yeah, exactly. Wrong answer. Sorry about that, doc, but you don't know what you're talking about.
Right. So, fiber, fiber, fiber.
um,
Okay, so just for a fun thing,
yes.
I would love to hear what your favorite, fiber food is. Wow, that was hard to say. I love
Uh,
blueberries and dark cherries.
Ooh, yes, yes, yes. I love blueberries as well. Blueberries are so delicious. I Have you ever had them just frozen
Yes,
with a little cream or something over it? Oh,
yes.
so
Take a
yummy.
little bit of Cool
Oh
Whip,
my
and you take the frozen blueberries and the frozen cherries, and I just rinse them just so you get the yuck off of them, and I put, like, a spoonful of, Cool Whip on them. I know that's probably not the best, but stir it up and it, like, sticks to the berries. Wow.
Yes, yeah, that's what happens with the cream. I just drizzle a little bit of, like, heavy cream, and oh my goodness, it is, like, heavenly, so delicious. I absolutely love
Oh
it.
my gosh, you know what? You just made me think of I should go get heavy cream from Ranch Gal who's around the corner. She has Jersey cows. which
Ooh, yeah, because you can even make your own whipped cream. You can just add, and I even add like a little bit of stevia instead of sugar or some other kind of
Mhm.
natural sweetener. Add a little bit of that, a tiny bit of vanilla, which I make my own vanilla, and a tiny bit of that, and whip it up. You can either use a like a what do you call it? Why can't I think of what that's called?
Frother
The
thing? Frother or,
Yeah, well, you could use a frother. That was
um,
going to be my second thing. I was
immersion
going to say if you
blender.
don't have the stand mixer is what
Oh,
I was going to
okay.
say. Stand
There
mixer
you go.
to whip it up.
KitchenAid.
But if you don't have, yeah. Anyway, the other thing I do love, and everybody thinks I'm crazy that I love this, but I love broccoli.
Actually, I do
And
too.
broccoli's high in fiber too.
Okay, so we could go down a food topic. Maybe one day we just need to talk about food, but cook your broccoli,
Yeah.
smash it with a glass, put it on parchment paper, and put a little bit of cheese on top, and then bake it in the oven, and it turns it into broccoli chips, and it's so good.
Oh
Even
my
my
goodness.
husband
Yum.
ate them.
Yum. Does he like broccoli at all or
He
no?
does. He doesn't love it. Like, if I
Okay.
just steamed it, I don't know that he would eat it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like broccoli raw. I like it cooked. I like it baked or steamed or whatever. Like I could have it like broccoli, and I know it's silly, but I do love it. My husband does not like it at all, but I eat it almost daily. Isn't that funny?
So, anybody who thinks that eating fiber is boring, obviously has not tried what we are doing. So,
Yeah.
fiber is definitely a thing. Sweating. I don't know about you, but I hate to sweat. I absolutely hate it.
You know what's so funny is like, okay, I can't hate it because I sweat a lot. I am a very sweaty person. So like when I go horseback riding, by the end I am sweating, my horse is sweating. I'm just like, it's not actually my horse. I don't own a horse, but I wish I did. Anyway, the point is, we're all just sweaty, and I was like, oh my goodness, I just sweat like crazy. I could be doing a warm up for a workout, not the actual workout itself, a warm up, and I'm already
Mhm.
sweating. It's just the way I am. I've always been a very sweaty person. Thank goodness I don't have like nasty smelling sweat because, oh, I don't think so anyway. Nobody has complained sweat. But yeah, I'm a very sweaty person. So I always, if I am going to do any kind of workout, I either have to bring a change of clothes with me or stuff to shower or go home immediately and shower and change because I will just be sweaty. But sometimes light sweating is okay and it kind of just dries up on its own, like walking, going for walks. Yes, I sweat some when I go for a walk, but it's not so much where I'm like dripping or anything.
Yes. And that's I like to walk. I like a dry sauna. I don't like a humid one where they pour the water. Oh, it
Yeah, have you been in a steam room
yeah,
before? It's like you can almost not
yes.
breathe. It's like just so
It makes my
steamy.
chest hurt, so I don't.
Yeah.
Now, sunshine, I am all about. I will lay on
Yeah.
my sidewalk.
Sunshine is our natural amazingness.
Yes, I will lay on my sidewalk in the sunshine. Oh, especially here, if it's a cool day and the sun is so warm that the concrete is warm, I will lay. I have to be careful now because the chickens think they need to come help me. They
Oh my
don't, but
goodness. I need a picture of this with you laying on your sidewalk and the chickens all around
oh,
you.
I can walk outside and I call mamas. 'Cause I call them all mamas. I'm like mamas, and they all just come running and flapping their wings and running to me,
Oh my
even if
goodness,
I have the
that is so
dogs.
precious.
But anyway, I do love to
Oh my
lay in
goodness.
the sun, and if I'm having a bad day, and that could be part of why I woke up grumpy because I just realized it was kind of overcast and the full moon,
Yeah,
and it's still overcast and the storm's moving in. So maybe that's why, because I feel better now that I
yeah.
took my whatever I took, drive. Uh,
Yeah, and you're lacking your vitamin D in the sunshine. I went to a hot yoga class the other day and oh boy, that detoxed me. Ooh, that's not light sweating, that's heavy sweating. That's me like looking like I went swimming with my clothes on. That's how much sweating. So that's not
oh my
light
god.
sweating.
Oh,
But if you want to detox, go to hot yoga.
yeah. So have you ever done dry brushing?
Yes. Yeah, I do it almost every day before I get in the shower, actually.
Really? Okay, I am not that
Yes.
consistent. I have one. I just don't do it that often.
I have it literally hanging in my bedroom. I have these little hooks right outside of my bathroom door that I can hang a robe or whatever on it, and I literally have my dry brush hanging there so that it, like before I walk into my bathroom, it's right there visible, and so it reminds me to dry brush. I mean, I have several occasions where I'm running late and I just need to hurry up and take a quick shower, and I don't take the time to dry brush before I get in. But on a pretty regular basis, I do dry
I
brush.
have one that's for your face
Oh,
that's
wow,
sitting
yeah,
next to
actually,
my.
I have one of those too. I don't do that as often.
Okay, so here's what I did so that I wouldn't forget. I have it sitting kind of like you, if it's in sight, it's sitting in, I don't know, this little organizer thing next to my recliner. So sometimes in the morning,
Mm,
if I'm listening to the Bible as opposed to reading it, because I go back and forth between both, especially if I wake up and my face feels puffy, I will just close my eyes,
mhm.
listen to the Bible, and do it then.
And dry brush. Oh, that's so cool. Is yours one of those ones that's kind of almost like a C shape?
Mine actually
And then
looks like a
you like
baby brush.
oh,
So it's
okay,
got the
alright. Oh, I
and
know
then
what
it's
one you're
got the
talking about,
handle, so it
yes.
looks like a baby brush. That's the best
Mhm,
explanation I can come up with. So, and I
yes. I used to have one of those, and I have no idea what happened to it. It disappeared at some point in my life. I don't know what happened, but I have the kind now that's like a C shape. I actually have 2, so I can, like, double it up,
oh,
like,
nice.
go along. Yeah. I just sometimes it's so weird because like I'm in my own little world when I get out of the shower and I'm like thinking of things. And so I immediately go for my moisturizer and put it on. And my moisturizer is castor oil and in a blend of other things that I put together. And so if I've already put that on, I'm not going to do the dry
No,
brushing. By the time I realize it, because I'm in my own little like a trance, either thinking of things or sometimes I'm listening to messages or an audiobook or something like that. But either way, if I'm not thinking about what I'm doing, I forget the dry brushing thing. Even though they're sitting right there, sometimes I'm just like in my own little world.
you and me both. You and me both.
Yeah. So
So, yeah. Okay, vibration plate. That's
um,
another one that is big, and you can't see mine. Mine's underneath the box of books that needs to go to the library.
yeah, and mine is over there. I don't think you can oh no, I'm connected to my plugs. You can't see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, I have my vibration plate over in my office. And I have it in my office on purpose. So I use it on a regular basis.
It's
And
funny,
it
I walk
literally
past
takes
mine
10.
repeatedly, and I barely ever get on it. And okay,
Oh
so
my
full
God.
disclosure, I didn't buy it. My sister brought it up here for me, so it is not a habit yet.
Yeah, but you can make it a habit, and we've talked about making things a habit before and pairing
Yes.
things. What I like to do while I'm on my vibration plate is I'm usually always listening to an audiobook or a podcast, and I will also do other lymphatic massage while I'm on it. So I'll like rub under my armpits, and or like rub right here or right in here or wherever, like wherever that like you have lymph
Mhm.
nodes, rub there to do a little bit of lymphatic massage, and then you're also on the vibration plate, so that's helping to drain all of the lymph nodes. It's so beneficial, and you don't necessarily have to have a vibration plate in order to help your lymph nodes drain. You can do lymphatic massage. You can literally Google it,
Mhm.
lymphatic massage techniques, and you're going to get a whole slew of things. There's ones very specific for the face and neck area, there's ones for the whole body, there's nighttime ones that you can do while you're laying in your bed. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
we
Google
didn't
it.
talk about rebounding, but oh, maybe we did. Rebounding is another one. I don't have a rebounder, but
I don't either.
so one of the things that when I was studying it or looking into it is people think rebounding you need to jump up and down, and actually they should not.
Yeah, I
They
just
just
saw a video about this the other day where
crazy.
it's
You
like
basically just so you
yeah.
might be able to do that just flat on your feet if you don't have one, and just
Mhm.
gently. So I don't know. I don't know if that works or not, but
Yeah,
um,
maybe Google, the best technique to do that so that it's not harmful on your knees and all that kinda stuff.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm not talking death. Don't do that. So I think my favorite is an Epsom salt bath.
Mm. I don't take baths very often, but I do sometimes, soak my feet in Epsom salt or go to a friend of mine, has the Ionic foot bath, and so I'll go to her place
Okay, so
and get a detoxing foot bath.
do you wanna see what happened to me the other day? Yesterday?
Yes, yes. You did it yesterday?
That
Oh, that's a black, black, black. Oh, you're moving your feet? You're not supposed
I
to be
was
moving.
taking a video to show my sister. So that is how much stuff.
Ew, that is so black.
Isn't that
Although I didn't see very many bubbles. Bubbles are like your
lymphatic?
sinuses draining. So your
Yeah.
sinuses look good.
So, yeah, my sinuses are pretty good. So, I believe the brown, if I remember correctly, and if I'm wrong, somebody can correct me, but I'm pretty sure that is joint inflammation, which makes sense for me. It makes
Yeah, I can't, and I think there's one that's a similar color. It's either brown or black, is like liver.
black is liver. And the only reason I remember that is because people that drink a lot, that comes up. I'm gonna
Mm.
try to find it very quickly. I actually have the so for anybody who's
Oh,
ever
the little
done the
chart.
yes, I do have the chart. Um,
Okay, and while you're looking up the chart, oh, actually, you know what? I think that that's pretty much all we're going to talk about. But I would love to know. First of all, we've mentioned a lot of different detox methods that you could give a try. I would like to know from those of you who are watching, drop a comment and let us know which of these you're going to start trying this week. And the cool thing is that you don't have, if you don't really love one of these methods, try a different one. Try
mhm,
something else. And the cool thing is it's a form of self-care too, which we talk about a lot,
a
about the
lot.
just taking care of yourself, that you need to start prioritizing taking care of yourself, because you are going to be with you for the rest of your life, and you want to make sure that you are well and that you're feeling good. And so it's very important to prioritize time for yourself, because then you can show up better in all areas of your life.
Yeah. So I was wrong.
Did you find your
Brown is detoxifying from the liver, cellular debris, and tobacco, which by the way, I don't smoke, never smoked ever. Orange is from the joints.
Oh,
So
okay.
black is liver, black flakes is heavy metals, brown is liver and cellular debris. Again, cellular debris makes sense. Dark green is from the gallbladder, orange is from the joints, red flakes is blood clot material. So I learned something from my massage therapist is that ladies, if you have issues with your cycle being severe, and I'm not saying this is going to cure it, so don't hear what I'm not saying, but it possibly could support and make it less intense. And that came from a woman that was like bedridden 3 days every month. And she
Oof.
accidentally, it wasn't planned. She did the detox, the foot detox at the spa, and she came back after it and she's like, I've never not been wiped out. So it's kind of crazy.
Wow.
White is yeast, white foam is lymphatic, and yellow green is from kidneys, bladder, urinary tract. So it's kind of
Wow.
crazy how honestly how well it works. So
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty
it is.
incredible. And it's so relaxing.
Yeah, I mean, you have to say self-care. I have to sit still for 30 minutes. So I get to enjoy that 30 minutes sitting still. And when I was sitting there, okay, talk about self-care. I was doing the foot soak. My sister was massaging my neck and shoulders. Jack was
Oh,
laying right here, and Toby was laying right here. And I was just petting
oh,
down the two of them. So it was a very relaxing 30 minutes of just self-care, other than looking down and going, oh,
oh.
gross, that's coming out of me.
That's amazing though. And that is really why self-care is important. And I just have to remind you all of this too, because self-care is very important. If you're not taking care of yourself, and if you're not giving yourself the breaks and rest that you need, your body's going to take it for you. Believe me, it just happened to me. I literally was just sick out of the blue. It just hit me. And I think it must have been either something I ate or I got a bug or something like that. Thank goodness I'm better now. Haven't eaten yet, but
Yeah, yeah,
it, it's just a reminder of, hey, your body's going to take a break if you don't take a break for yourself. And I'm grateful that I do take care of my body so well that I was better like that.
mhm,
Like I can't believe how quickly I got better, but it could be something that lingers for a really long time. If you have been putting off taking care of yourself for a really long time, and you haven't been supporting your body and naturally detoxing those toxins, they could build up, they could cause all kinds of issues.
yes,
And not to mention it makes your immune system so that
Sluggish.
it's out of whack. It's just not great if you're not taking care of your body and your system. So anyway, just a reminder
Yeah.
to take care of
Yeah.
yourself. Take care of yourself. It's so important.
Yeah.
And sometimes just sitting there with your foot soaking, reading a book, relaxing, that is what's important. My animals took turns sitting with me. It reminded me because you were
Yeah.
you're talking about how Jack was sitting there.
Jack is usually not very far from me. As a matter of fact, he's laying right there. And a lot of times he lays across my lap while we do these. But Alicia had posted in there. So hi, Alicia. That
Hi.
her period got better when she stopped using tampons. And I think that also, I mean,
yes, because those can have toxins in them. Can you
absolutely.
even believe
I know,
it?
isn't that crazy? And it also stops the flow, which is what your body's supposed to do. Anyway, I'm glad I don't have that anymore. So,
Same.
yeah, glad
Same.
that is so gone.
I haven't had my period in so many years. It's so lovely.
Oh, I know, you and me both. Okay, so next week we're talking about why does your body hold on to weight?
Yes.
And it kind of pairs well with this because it's possible that that's part of why. Like things are just stopped up. So,
yep. Yeah. So we're going to be talking a bit about you. So if you or anybody that you know is holding on to excess weight, holding on to stress, even holding on to emotions, tune in next week. Share with a friend. Let them know that we're going to be talking about something that's super important because so many people struggle with holding on to these things that we don't want. Like, get rid of them. So
and don't think you're alone in this because Carrie Marie and I both hit that age that we're like, why are we gaining weight?
yeah.
Why isn't it going away?
Yeah.
And I'm still working through that and trying to figure that one out, but
I've been figuring it out and I've been shedding. It's so lovely.
No, yeah, see,
I've been shedding my stuck points. I have been shedding my weight. I have been shedding all kinds of stuff. I'm like, yes, this is so great.
Yes.
Get rid of it. Good riddance.
And then Jenny helps release things. Man, we're detoxing. Okay, I know we're almost out of time, but I'm going to say this. Detoxing can also include your mindset. We didn't touch on that, but that is big.
Yeah.
Big.
Yep.
So,
all right. So we'll leave it with that. Leave you on that note. Stay tuned next week. We will be live on Wednesday morning. Every Wednesday morning, we go live for the Wellness Wake Up Weekly at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. So tune in. We're going to be talking about that excess weight and emotions and stress that you just want to get rid of. So,
all right. We'll see you next week.
Have an amazing day. Have a great week.